Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, Tracy Evans Boutique Designs this week marks the first anniversary of my brand and going alone under my own branding. So to celebrate, I have a new release. So I have 5 stamps and 3 Snippet stencils. So this video, I'm going to go through that, and the main reason for going through this is to go through my samples so that you can see exactly the possibilities with the stamps and stencils, and to give you some ideas to see, you know, so you can see what you like, etc. So I have two A7 stamps, 2 A6 stamps and 1 A5 stamp. So I'm going to start with the A5 stamp, and the A5 stamp is called Numerical Cats. Now, I've been asked for cats for a long time, so I thought, well, with it being my anniversary, why not? We'll create some cats. I've also been asked for some numbers. So this is an A5 stamp, and what you've got on here are some numbers a little bit larger, some smaller numbers, and you've also got this circle here that's just blank, so you can create like a dotty background, just so that it gives you more options. We've then got the months of the year, January to December, and I've also got the word perfect, of course you had to have that, and the word cat, the word meow, and the little fishbone, because I couldn't resist. Now, I've actually had the cats done for actually quite a few years, but never released them. The time just wasn't right, whereas the time is right now. So let me bring in, I don't need to bring in just the stamps. We can bring in the packaging, my stamping. And what you can see here are the cats. So we've got some silhouettes, well, they're mainly all silhouettes, and then you can see the numbers, and I haven't stamped the little numbers, but I'll tell you the sizes because you can see them on a project. So the cats themselves, so this little cat here is around about 1 3/4 inches coming up to. This cat here is a little bit bigger. From his feet to his ears is 2 inches. The smaller cat here is 1 1/4 inches, and the small cats are between, hang on a minute, around about 3/4 of an inch. These smaller cats. The little cat that looks like it can sit on things is around about 1 inch. The numbers are about 1 inch in height. So, and then the circular numbers, these are sort of around about sort of 1/2 inch, I'd say. Yeah, about 1/2 inch. Doesn't really help me much, that doesn't. Let's have a look. I'm looking at the wrong things here. Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, around about just bigger than 1/2 inch. But when I show you the samples, you'll see fully what I'm talking about. You can see the little fishbone. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I just couldn't resist the little fishbone. So they made me very happy. So let me just see if I can see better. Yeah, just over 1/2 inch, I'd say. I'll say that I'm hopeless at measuring. That's what I'd say. And then you've got the January to December. They're around about 1 3/4 inches in length. is the December, just so obviously the other ones are smaller because it depends on how many letters, but just so you can see the length of the December. I know some of you do like measurements. I personally think that when you see the samples, you know, it's better than even measuring some of the stamps because it just gives you a better idea. So that's TE36 and it's the A5 stamp. I've then got two A6 stamps. I've got Abstract Trees and I've got Flower Power. So the Abstract Trees, I've had these actually done for quite a while as well. So I've got the Abstract Trees and I've got some like sort of little foliage bits and pieces. I've got the word abstract and I've got the sentiment amongst the trees, tree and nature. And when you see the A7 stamps, you'll see there's another one to go with this. There's also Flower Power that's got hugs and kisses, sending heartfelt wishes on your special day, flowers, best wishes and anniversary. And it's got the florals. So let's bring in these two. So you've got TE35 and TE37 and they are A6 stamps. So here you can see the little trees here and I just love these. The samples again will speak to you more. So this tree is around about just over 3¼ inches, so a good sized tree there, 3¼ inches. This one is 2 3/4. The thin tall one is 3 inches. The silhouettes to match, that's 2 inches and that's 2 inches. And then this little foliage here from top to bottom is around about 2 3/4 inches. And then you've got this little one here which is around about 1½ inches. So you've got this little blobby one as well, which I just love. So useful that is. Then you've got your florals. Now the florals, there's a cluster one, which is quite big, 4 inches from top to bottom. It's got beautiful detail. And then you've got one on its own that is 2½ inches. Just so you can mix and match that up a little bit, create bouquets, etc. So that works quite nicely. And then you've got a butterfly on there, which you can stamp in a colour. You don't have to stamp in black, which from the wingspan is around about just over 2 inches. The wingspan is just over 2 inches. Now, if I bring in the A7 stamps, you've got bubbles, because I know how much you've enjoyed doing the bubble technique. So now you can stamp it in whatever colours you want. And then we've got silhouettes. And you've got this tree that then can go with the Abstract Trees. And the sentiment says, tree silhouettes, bare branches and stillness of the season. And then you've got this little ivy here, the tree silhouette. And then the bubble background. And the bubble background has being creative is a way of life, because it is a way of life for me. I love being creative and it is part of my life, full stop. So that takes up the whole of the A7 stamp. Just so that you know, it takes up the whole A7 stamp, which is around about 3 3/4 inches. So let's just then measure the tree. The tree itself is 3 3/4 inches in height. And again, when you see the samples, hopefully that will speak to you a little bit more. So let's move this packaging out of the way, apart from the A5 one. Now, of course, to coordinate with the A5, I've done some Snippet stencils. So I've done Snippet stencil SS13, which is cat. Let's grab our little cutout pieces as well. Let's move out my masks. Let's bring in some black card so you can see it a little better. So SS13. This is your cat, and it can go any which way you want. So it's got SS13 is the cat. You've got the cat as a stencil, and you have the cutout piece, and he's got my usual little heart on his tail and inside his body. So you can add that detail if you wish. But you can also use these on your gel press, especially the cutout pieces. So this is the cat, and this little cat here coordinates with this cat here. So you can stamp him inside if you wish, or alongside him, just so that coordinates. And you can still use the other cats inside as well. So these are Snippet stencils, 4 by 4 inches. So let's just take this one out. So that's SS13. So let me just put this back in the wallet, and then we're not fighting with the bits. We've then got SS14. So let's grab all the bits from SS14. There you go. So you've got SS14, and this is called Black Cat. Just so you can see, you've then got the stencil here and your cats here that coordinate with him, and you can add those inside or alongside him if you wish, or you can use them separately. So that is SS14. And then I need to take the packaging out of this one because I've kept all the bits in this. So we've got SS15, and I'm going to leave that in the packaging because you've got all the bits if you wish, because why not? You can then add these to your gel press, or you can buy an extra one and use them as embellishments, and actually put them on your card as embellishments coloured with alcohol inks. So these could be like little embellishments, because the price point, £4.99, is quite a good price point if you wanted to grab a couple, and then you can add them to your gel press, and you could have some embellishment pieces as well. You've then got your stencil like so, and the actual packaging. This is SS15, and it is Cat Family, just so that you can see those. I just love those. Even the tiniest one is cut out, and they would, for somebody special, they would be beautiful embellishments. So I'm going to add these back to my packaging. Now I keep these in the plastic packaging so that I don't lose them, and then I can use them on my gel press if I wish. Let's move them in there, because why wouldn't you have them when you're cutting out the stencil anyway? And there you've got the cutout pieces as well that coordinate with this little cat here. But they also coordinate with all the cats because you can use them together. So let's just place them back. I spend more time faffing with the packaging. I've got a couple of masks there. So you've got 5 stamps, 1A5, 2A6, 2A7, and 3 Snippet stencils. Now I try not to do too big a bundles so that it is not too expensive. So now I come to the best bit. The best bit for me is samples. So here is my first sample, and all these samples are in Workshop 117, Breaking a Blank Page, and it's Workshop 117. Now I've got stamps individually, I've got a bundle, and I've got a bundle with Workshop, and those are all on the website. So this is the cats. So this is SS14. This is TE32. This is the floral from TE32. So that's the floral from TE32. Let me just place that back. The flowers is from the flower text on TE37. So we've used our Snippet stencil here, and I've used the bubbles background inside the cats. But just so you can see that, it's all flat apart from the sentiment. But I just adore that. Absolutely adore that. I just love it. So all these samples are in Workshop 117. So that's my first sample. Then let's do a little sample with our trees. So here is a sample with the trees, but look, I've added a little cat, and then I've added the sentiment from the tree. Let's just grab this tree one. So not that one. Oh yes, I have, yeah. So the text here is from the little A7 stamp, which is TE38. I just love that text stamp. And you know I'm going to bore you with that text stamp. You know that by now. So this is with the silhouette trees. Again, all flat, apart from this. You can see these little bobbly bits, as I call them, just here, just going around this sort of semicircle. And I love the added cat, just so you can see that. I'm so chuffed with that. But just because something's black, you well know now that we don't have to use it as black. It can be any colour that you would like. Again, this is in Workshop 117. And these will be shown on social media. I've then used Snippet Stencil 113. And I've combined it with the cats, but I promised you that I would show you these numbers here. So here is this sample. I adore this. I just love it. So these are the numbers, which I'm going to probably use on my Thrinchies. These numbers here to use on my Thrinchies. But I just adore that. You can see TE11 here. You can see the bubble background, which is a great grounding here. The little mouse from TE32, and they all coordinate with the stencil SS13. This is the stamp set TE36, which is the A5 stamp set. I just adore that. Again, in Workshop 117. I've then got another sample, but this time with the florals, combining with this stamp and Snippet Stencil SS13. Adore this sample. And along with the bubbles as well, which you can see here in the background. We've also got the florals, and then we've got our cat as well. Just so that you can see that. And apart from the sentiment, it is all flat. Oh, and the flower as well. That one flower is cut out. But you can see the cats combine beautifully together. Just so you can see that is completely flat, the cat is. But I just adore them. They just add another dimension to my florals and backgrounds. And they add another dimension to my whole release. It looks a bit aloof, I always think. But yes, it just adds another dimension to those. Again, in Workshop 117. These are all in Workshop 117. Now, do you remember this one? I said here, it's just a blank circle on its own. So I find it perfect for sort of adding like a colour palette. So like that adds my colour palette there that I've used here. So nice way to add another embellishment sort of theme to your project. So we've got SS14, the Snippet Stencil. We've got the beautiful tree from TE38. And I've cut up the sentiment from TE38, just so that you can see that sentiment because I adore it. The cat inside the cat and TE11. But I love this idea of adding your colour palette that you've used within your project as an embellished piece. I just love that. I absolutely love the way that's turned out. Just so you can see that. Again, in the workshop. I then got obsessed with this colour scheme, and I've used the heart stencil here, SS12 heart. This could be an alternative anniversary card or Valentine card. That would work quite nicely. And you've got the branch here, and the cat's stamped within the cat, TE11, and you've got a Snippet stencil 15, the cat family. Can you see the cat family? Just in the background, the cat family. And it just works so beautifully. Sending heartfelt wishes on your special day seemed perfect with the heart. So we'll turn that round. And then another variation on that one is this card. Using the heart with the Snippet stencil 15. This is from Quirky Birds. We've got the sentiment there. And we've got the cats facing each other. Again, could be a Valentine's card, an anniversary card, just so that you can see that. And the branches from TE38. Just love that. So let's just leave that there for now. I've then, I don't know why I'm standing up so much. I've then got a card created with TE37. Again, using the florals, but incorporating the cats and those numbers here, which I'm addicted to. Just adore these. Again, this is in Workshop 117. Oh, just love them. Absolutely adore them. Just love that colour palette. Just for something a little bit different. I've then created a card focusing on the florals here and this floral here. And I was really pleased with how this turned out. Again, this is in Workshop 117, Breaking a Blank Page. I was really pleased with that. And look how a little cat makes an appearance. You've got the fern stamp here, TE3, and it's very textural. Just so you can see that there's, apart from the sentiment, there is nothing cut out. I just absolutely love that sample. Just love it. Just so textural as well. Let's place that down. I've then got another sample with the trees, and I had to incorporate this little cat because look how he sits on sentiments. I just love how he sits on top of there, or on shelves, or on the little rectangle from TE32. Anybody think he was thought about? Then we've got the tree silhouettes and the little cat. This one has some dimension, but it's just lovely. Absolutely love that. With our little cat making appearance as well. Just so you can see the trees. You can see there's some dimension on this one. Just so you can see that. I've then done a sample using the TE38 along with the silhouette trees, which is this one, TE38, with the actual tree branches, which are going to be overused because I just adore them. And this is the one with the tree branches and along with the abstract trees. And I've included the little cats as well to give me some sort of perspective and distance. Just love that. Amongst the trees was obviously the perfect sentiment. Just turn this for you. just so that you can see that. I just love them. Absolutely love these. And again, all of these are in your workshop 117. I've then done more of one like sort of a wintry sort of theme, just so you can see those branches. I've got the hearts from TE10. I've got TE12, the little bird. This sentiment again that I just adore from TE38, from the A7 stamp. The Snippet stencil, as you can see, with the branches inside, and our little cats. I just love those. Absolutely love them. I've then created another one with the florals here, this one here, but with the heart snippet stencil. I loved how this one turned out. And this is all flat, just so that you can see that. But I was so happy with how that turned out. Just so you can see that. Really thrilled with that. And again, this is in workshop 117. Absolutely love it. And then we've got a couple more samples. We've then got this one with our florals. Of course, we have to have the little cat. And then sending heartfelt wishes on your special day. Very textural piece, but just so that you can see that. Oops. I just think in videos you can see the samples a lot better. And then I've got one with the cats and the numbers, just so you can see. This one is sitting inside the 0. This one is sitting on top of the number 2. I've used the tag from TE32 and the alphabet from TE32 and the cats, but just so that you can see that. And I'm going to bring the cards back just one more time, very slowly, just so that you can take a look before I put them back. So just show you these one more time, because I think it's the samples that really speak volumes, and showing you how this release was brought together and how I envisioned it personally. You will envision it a different way, but I just adore them. But then I adore all the stamps I bring out, or else there's no point bringing them out, is there? So we always say that. But I think the amount of samples I've created is testament to how much I love the stamps. And my samples, they do take me ages to create. You know, they're just not made in 5 minutes. So bring these in, just so you can see all the different ways I've used these stamps. So let me just move these out of the way. Just so that you can see the way those have been used. I love how the tails come outside the project. And another one where the tails come outside the project. Just place that down. And then the next few samples. I love this circle. This is going to be used a lot. And then I love how that turned out with the florals, so you can combine it with your florals. One of my favourite samples, this. I'm into this colour scheme at the moment. So I really love that. I love the bubble as the grounding. And then bringing in our silhouette trees. Oh, I just love these. Gorgeous silhouette trees. Now these could be used for Christmas. All year round stamp. All year round. Doesn't have to say Christmas. It can still be used for it though. And all year round. And then another one of my favourite samples with the floral from TE32. just put these back. Now, you know, for me, education is key. And that's why I bring out stamps, so that you can use them in lots of different ways. So education is really key for me. And that's why I've done the workshop, workshop 117. It's a really lovely workshop. I think there's 10 recorded videos in there, but there's actually about 14 cards or so. I don't know whether it's 14 or 15 cards. But it's really full of content. And lovely ways, simple ways just to break that blank page, which is something we're often a little bit timid of. So this is to celebrate Tracy Evans Boutique Designs 1 year anniversary. I hope you love them as much as I do, and I hope you have fun with them. And obviously you're going to see these appear on Thrinchies, snippets, cards, journal pages. The list is endless. So I hope you like them. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to my design team. The design team, they've worked really hard. They worked really hard to bring you a different approach to my approach, which is the whole point. So they brought a whole array of designs, which I'm sure you're going to love, and you can see how they've interpreted the stamps. So a huge thank you to my design team, who've been amazing. They've been absolutely wonderful. So we've got Lindsay, we've got Rebecca, Jane, we've got Anne Young, Lucy Edmondson, did I say Lindsay, Victoria Wilding, Patricia Yodel, I think I've said everyone, and also a thank you to Lisa Magic Maker as well, who's taken some stamps and also been doing some workshops and making some samples. So thank you very much, ladies, for your amazing support of my brand and also your friendship and dedication. Without you, it's not possible. So thank you all. I think I've mentioned everyone. Anne, Patricia, Lucy, Lynn, Victoria, Rebecca. So I've mentioned all 6 design team members. That's the problem. When you name them, you then start to panic that you've forgotten one. But thank you all, ladies, for your amazing dedication, hard work, friendship and support. Without you, I couldn't do it. Also, thank you to my followers and customers, however you support me, whether it's with comments, shares, likes or purchases. Thank you very much for your support. It's truly appreciated. And thank you for making this all possible. This year, the whole year in 2024 to 2025 has just whizzed by. So I hope you love them as much as I do. So love to all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.